Hello everyone. So this is the second part of the video series that we said we'll be making, that where we talk about something that can actually protect you against manipulation, psychological abuse, and eventually physical abuse, because all of them work together. There is no single form of abuse that occurs without the other one just waiting around the corner. Whether it's sexual abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, they all work together. And it hurts me every time. It makes me feel so sad every time when I have to come out here and make videos about manipulations and abuse and manipulative personalities, because I know that so many of our clients, and maybe even you watching this now, dear one, you're going through this. It really hurts, but it's part of the job. In case you don't know, this is Enchanting Life 18F Foundation, and I am Maya doing this presentation, and I'm working without my microphone, so I hope that you're able to hear me clearly, because we just want to make sure priority is given to consistency and not so much into editing. So quickly now, I'm going to tell you about 4 or 5 signs to help you to identify when somebody is love bombing you in order to manipulate you and to abuse you. What is love bombing? So love bombing is a manipulative technique that certain personalities use in order to get under your skin and get under your defenses, so that you will do what it is that they want you to do. Now, what they want you to do could be that they want you to marry them, it could be that they want to sleep with you, it could be that they want to mine you for resources like money, it could be anything. But what counts is that they are going to employ this technique in order to get them to achieve their goals. Now, love bombing feels really good. And why is it called love bombing? It's called love bombing because it's like giving you love, but a lot of it within a short period of time. Now, if love bombing is going on, there are different things that you would use to know. But if you are not skilled in identifying these things, you may not know. You may just think that you have hit the jackpot. But you know what they say about, when they say that whatever looks too good to be true, it's usually too good to be true. And love bombing is one of those things that looks too good to be true. One hint that can help you to identify this is when you just met someone and the person is giving you a lot of compliments. Now, when someone is love bombing, you're gonna hear things a lot like, "Oh wow, you look so beautiful. Oh, you are so classy. Oh, you are so elegant. Oh, I love the way you cook. Oh, I love how you're so generous. Oh, I love how you do this thing." So they would compliment you excessively. But just be aware of yourself in the presence of a new person and see how you interact with the person. Does it seem to you like this person is always giving you compliments when you're wearing a new outfit? Like, "Oh, is that new?" "Yes, it is." "Oh, I love it. You look really good in it." They are doing it because they know, as psychologically manipulative people, that human beings love to receive praise, and that praise makes us to feel loved. So they channel that praise and they give it a little bit too much to you, and the effect is that your brain starts to release hormones that causes you to bond to that person and to really elevate the way that you see that person and to be connected and attached to that person in a way that is too much too soon. So that is one red flag to look out for: excessive compliment and praise. The second red flag to look out for is that these people, they value deep communication, deep conversations. What do I mean by this? So these people would be very much interested in learning a lot about you. They would ask you really deep questions about life. They can ask you, oftentimes, mind you, manipulators are very intelligent people. Even if they may not look like it when you first see them, they are usually very intelligent. They may even look very quiet. In fact, those are the insidious ones, the ones who look really quiet. Because oftentimes people think, "Oh, bad people look a certain way. Oh, bad people are flashy. Oh, bad people are this." But usually the most dangerous category of these sort of people are the ones that they do not necessarily look that way when you look initially. So you would hear conversations about your past life. "Okay, what was life like when you were growing up? Oh, what was it like when you were a child? Okay, tell me about your past." It could be your job or anything that they feel is interesting, your past relationship. These people are not asking these questions because they care. I'm sorry, dear one. The purpose of asking you these questions is to find out your past trauma, to find out your history, and to find out your weaknesses. they're going to use this against you, because when you let another person into this part of your world, that makes you vulnerable. And of course, vulnerability is what any manipulative or abusive person is looking for, because once they find that you're vulnerable, then that makes you a prime target, a prime prey for them to carry out their mischievous little, not little, usually very dangerous missions on. The third thing that I would encourage anybody in this, and in interacting with a new person, to really watch out for, is people who show a lot of concern for your families, or maybe your friends or loved ones. So in this kind of scenario, you would hear them say things about, oh, how is your family? Oh, how is your mom? What are you people like as a family? Are you people close? Or they might say something, they might express concern about how your mother's behavior or your father's behavior have an effect on you. Now, these concerns are not concerns. They are not asking because they really care about your family. The reason is usually to triangulate you and to isolate you from your family. So triangulation means they work around creating chaos amongst a close-knit group of people. Okay, there's a child on my feet. Among a close-knit group of people. So the effect it's going to have on you is that you will start doubting your friends, you start doubting your circle, you start doubting people who you have had in your life, perhaps years before this new person came into your life, and then you start thinking, oh wow, wait a minute, is it possible that my friend has actually been a bad person and has been using me all this while without me knowing? Oh wait, is it possible? Then you start doubting your support system. What this does is this isolates you from your support system, and again, it makes you more vulnerable. So this will make you more vulnerable to manipulation from such people. The final tip that I'm going to give that you can look at for, which is a sign that someone is actually love bombing you, is when the person presents with you a lot of traumas, and then the person also speaks about their past relationships in either very positive terms or very negative terms. So human beings, we are a blend of all sorts of behavior. We can be very good, we can be very bad, but oftentimes we are just somewhere in the middle. So when someone is talking about their past relationships and they're like, oh, my ex, that one was a this, it was a black widow, was it that, and you only hear about, oh, my ex is such a lovely person, was so good. When people do that, usually the effect it has on you is, if they say you are so different in a good way, that makes you want to keep becoming different in a good way. It's kind of like auto-suggestion. Or if they make it seem like their ex were such bad people, then you will try to treat them good because you are a good person. You are like, oh, I don't want this person to experience this bad behavior that the other person reflected to them again from me. And then they will present you with a lot of traumas, problems from their houses. Maybe their mother is going through a divorce, their father is going through hard time in the business. They will just have a lot of baggage. And the reason they have all these plenty stories that they are sharing with you within a very short time, mind you, especially the time is so important. You would have known this person, you can know this person for maybe a long time, maybe 5 years, but you weren't close. But in that period of getting close, they are passing so much information to you. What happens is that they are doing it so that you will feel attached to them mentally. You will be feeling this, you'll be getting this connection, this soulmate feeling. And they don't even mind telling you, oh, you are my soulmate, you are what I've been looking for, oh, you're just perfect for me. Especially that word, oh, you are just perfect. Remember what I said about compliments earlier? You are just perfect. And then inside of your brain, you start to believe it. And then all of a sudden, this will start to go downhill. Just as it started so quickly, it will start to disintegrate very quickly as well. But then the wonderful thing, or should I say the scary thing about love bombing, is that it's a circle. So they will act like this at the beginning of the relationship very quickly. You get into the relationship with them, or the marriage, or whatever business deal, you start to see their true colors. Maybe you call them out on it, or you punish them, or you show a negative consequence for it. And then a few maybe days later, they start love bombing you again. So it becomes an insidious circle where love bombing is replaced with hate bombing, which we're going to talk about later, which is the actual abuse you'll be experiencing, and then further love bombing. And then this causes you to question your psyche. You start going around like, oh, maybe it's me, maybe I'm the one saying like that. And then it causes you to bond with the abuser. They know what they are doing, and then they keep abusing you, and then you become a shell of yourself. Dear one, nobody deserves to be in that kind of environment. And I'm really, so my appeal today is, if this is you, you're going through this can actually have significant effect on your nervous system and your body. It can result in all sorts of things, cancers. It can result in bodily dysfunction. So please click the link below, or in order to read the book that talks about Do You Love Yourself, so that you can start to find your way out of this situation slowly but surely. I definitely know that this video has helped someone today. Please, not only do you leave a like and subscribe, please share it so that people can get this information and get the help that they need. So I look forward to the next one, or shall I say look forward to it for next weekend, where we will be talking about hate bombing, how to identify it, and then looking more critically at what this whole concept of self-love actually means, and how to know when someone loves themselves, when you really love yourself, or you're just being selfish. Because some people will do some things that are actually abusive in nature, and then they will tell you, I just love myself. But is it really love, or is it selfishness that is bordering on abusive, or that is going to lead to abuse later? So let's talk about that next weekend. And until then, I remain Maya. Remember that you are good enough. Namaste.